here's the question. Given much national level negative press towards law enforcement, if elected, what specifically would you do, if anything, to boost City of Milwaukee police officer morale and public image? Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay.
We'll take 90 seconds each on this.
That's a really thoughtful question. I like that. One of the most frustrating things about serving on the school board was dealing with teacher morale. It's so difficult to watch folks that are put in a position loving what they do and being so dedicated to their classroom and being squeezed by regulations and also by public sentiment that turn them into just sort of these Dickensian caricatures of themselves. And I think we've seen the same thing happen to the police community in a lot of ways. That obviously there are folks that are doing a disservice, but then there are also a number of wonderful neighborhood officers that we know and we care for and we're very happy to see them out in our community. I don't have a silver bullet. I didn't know the answer to make teachers feel better about what they're doing, except to make sure that they knew that I valued them and that I was fighting for them in the boardroom, in Madison, and in my personal life every step of the way. And I think that there is a way that we as a community can not be afraid to talk about some of these hard issues, to talk about segregation, to talk about violence, to talk about the things that divide us as a community, which will ultimately, hopefully, lead to some more understanding between all of us. And there are things that help. If we have body cameras on police officers, there will hopefully be more understanding between.
I have to cut you off there. Tony, your turn.
Basically, I think that we need to work with the police to get more involved with the schools and our kids get more programming. I think as the youth and people in our community get used to dealing with the police in a relaxed type of setting, and they see the police officers as human beings, caring human beings, just like everybody else in the community, I think that can go a long way towards improving relations. And speaking of body cameras, I was one of the first aldermen, if not the first alderman, to start pushing for body cameras because I agree with Megan on that as well. I think that'll be protection for the police department, and it'll be protection for the people that are dealing with the police officers, and it will save the city money. You talk about saving money. If you have body cameras on a police officer, that's going to reduce a lot of lawsuits, because if somebody knows that their whole interaction with the police department was taped, there's not going to be any fraudulent accusation against police officers, and at the same time, that helps protect our citizens if there's any issues with the police officers.
So a moment of agreement. Both candidates support body cameras for Milwaukee police officers. Is that correct? Did I hear that? Great. All right, well, it is time for the Ask Your Opponent a question here. In this case, because